Jak X combat racing burst onto the PlayStation 2 scene in 2005. If you grew up in the early 2000s, you probably remember Jak and Daxter as that quirky duo who went from cute platforming adventures to tough, gun-toting heroes. Then Naughty Dog thought, what if we threw in some explosions and cars, and even more explosions? That's how Jak X came to life, a game that took the Jak and Daxter universe, threw it into a chaotic race, and cranked everything up to the max. Now in 2025, we're looking back at this wild ride. Does it still hold up? How does it stack up against today's combat racers? And most importantly, should you give it a shot? Buckle up, because we're about to hit the nostalgia highway. Picture this. Crash Team Racing, Twisted Metal, and Mad Max all get into a brawl at a bar, and the one who walks out is rocking Jak's eco-powered goggles. That's Jak X combat racing for you. It's not just about finishing first, it's about making sure everyone else doesn't get there before you. The game throws you into a high-stakes tournament where winning means avoiding a fiery explosion before crossing the finish line. You've got a crazy lineup of vehicles, each loaded with weapons that feel like they came straight from a wild arms dealer's imagination. The combat mechanics are super satisfying. You can use weapons to keep your lead or completely mess up whoever's in front of or behind you. Unlike your typical kart racers where the weapons can feel random, Jak X actually makes you think strategically. You've got to manage your ammo, boost, and shields while keeping an eye on your rivals, who definitely don't forget a grudge. Most racing games don't bother with the deep story, you're just there to race, right? But Jak X said, let's make this personal. The plot kicks off when Jak, Daxter, and their crew get poisoned by Crew's daughter, Rain, classic family drama, forcing them to enter a deadly racing tournament to win the antidote. So yeah, you're not just racing for bragging rights, you're racing to stay alive. It's over the top, it's absurd, and it's the epitome of 2000s edgy gaming, which is part of its charm. The story is delivered through Naughty Dog's signature high-quality cutscenes and voice acting, showcasing Jak's tough guy attitude and Daxter's endless jokes. It's surprisingly engaging for a racing game, like if Fast and Furious had a plot that was actually interesting. Now, let's be real. The combat racing genre isn't what it used to be. Back in the PS2 era, we had gems like Twisted Metal Black, Burnout 3 Takedown, and Wipeout Fusion delivering pure adrenaline-pumping chaos. But in 2025, games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are still thriving. Seriously, is Nintendo ever going to release Mario Kart 9? And we've seen attempts at reviving combat racing, but nothing quite scratches that Jak X itch. For a PS2 game, Jak X still looks and sounds incredible. Naughty Dog has always been ahead of the curve, and the environments, car models, and explosions all hold up surprisingly well. Sure, if you're playing it on a modern 4K screen, you might notice some jagged edges, classic PS2 charm, but overall it still oozes style and attitude. The soundtrack is an absolute banger, featuring a mix of rock and techno that perfectly matches the game's chaotic speed demon energy. The engine sounds, weapon blasts, and character voiceovers all add to the immersive experience. Seriously, crank up the volume and enjoy the sweet sound of digital carnage. Look, I'll be straight with you. Jak X is a criminally underrated combat racer. It was overshadowed by the success of the Jak and Daxter series and never quite got the attention it deserved. But if you're craving high-speed, no-holds-barred vehicular carnage with a dose of 2000s nostalgia, this game still holds up. If you've got a PS2 or an emulator, Jak X is still an absolute blast to play. It's fun, chaotic, and way more intense than most modern racers.
This is amazing, folks! This was freaky out.
Sorry, but that's the game.
Position is! Fire in the hole! Lots of smash and bash out there! down for the count. This one's for you. You can't hurt me. Boom, baby. Here's a little missile music for you. Right in the kisser. Oh, he didn't know what hit him. First lap is mine. Oh, the crowd loves it. Here's a present. I can't watch this. Another lap in the floor.
He's gonna be limping home.
Sorry, but that's the game. Move over. Not good.
So there we were, wheel to wheel, with the nastiest racing cars I've ever seen. Razor-sharp chrome gleaming in the dark, weapons bristling under rumbling hoods.
Oh, the Cry City Welcoming Committee. Have a drink, friend.
Yeah, well, whoever they were, they messed with the wrong racers. Jak and I are world famous. And we're connected, too. We've been, thanks, invited to Cry City for the reading of some will. A rich guy named Crew.
The big gang lord?
Yeah, big is right. We were Crew's muscle in Haven City, but old Tub of Butter kicked the bucket. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah! Slowly, the racers circled us. The smell of fear hung in the air. And the smell of something else, too. I told Jak, move the sucker!
Sounds like this city's terribly dangerous. Maybe we should get law enforcement to crack down.
Yeah, well, this place don't scare us. No nasty gang is gonna get us to turn tail and run.
Sounds like they had you dead to rights. How did you survive?
Barely able to handle himself, but with my help, we took them all out, until only one was left.
Really? You know, people in this town have a way of getting in over their heads. Like at the bottom of the ocean.
Easy, boys. My story's almost over.
Yes, it is.
Wait a minute, it gets better! Really!
Dax, get in the car.
Jack! Are you crazy? You ruined my story!
Now.
Ah! What are you waiting for? Step on it, Jack!
I told you not to go out. We're getting death threats, Dax. Someone doesn't want us here.
You think? I say we take the next boat home.
Not a chance. Hang on.
Jack!